What was that sound? Well, hello, my first grade friends, and welcome back to Library Class at Home with Mr. S. I hope everybody has had a good week, and hey, happy Friday. We are reading My Big Fat Zombie Goldfish, and we are all the way up to Chapter 5. In the last chapter, the last thing the boys heard was the goldfish flopping onto the floor, so we're going to pick up right there. Chapter 5 is called That's No Ordinary Goldfish. "No, Frankie," I said as I jumped off the toilet and scooped him up. He wiggled in my hands as I dropped him back into the sink. He swam twice in a circle, then up to the surface where he stared at me, his eyes glowing a bit green. "You stay here, I'll be back." I climbed back onto the toilet seat and turned and pushed the window again, wide enough for me to crawl through. That was when I heard the next splash, then a whoosh. Green and gold flashed past my right ear as Frankie leapt out the window. I stuck my head out in time to see him land in a puddle of rainwater on the garage roof. Jumping down, I quickly dug the plastic bag he'd arrived in out of the trash. This was too weird. Frankie really wanted to go outside. None of the ping-pong ball fish ever did anything like this. Once I filled the bag up with water, I scrambled out onto the roof. "I guess you're coming with me then," I said as I scooped up Frankie from the puddle and plopped him into the bag. I tied a knot in the top and held the bag in my teeth as I climbed down the side of the garage. My feet felt for the top of the compost bin. I got it. From there, I jumped down onto the lawn. Escape Route 5 was a success, even carrying a fish. I ran around to the front of the house and peeked through the window. I could see Pradeep's back. He was sitting in a chair and Mark was standing in front of him, showing him his chemistry set. If Pradeep could just keep Mark downstairs for a little bit longer, then Frankie and I would be back before he noticed. In seconds, I was at Pradeep's back door, inching it open. His mom was inside making popcorn. Popcorn kernels popped and banged so loudly she didn't hear the door slide open. She rolled some popcorn pieces in green marshmallow fluff and rolled some others in blue marshmallow fluff and then squished them into little round globes. Then she poured melted white chocolate over the top of each of the little earths. It took me a second, but then I got it. Melting polar ice caps. Cool. "Samia," she called out, "can you come and help Mommy take out our party plates?" Sammy burst through the kitchen door, dressed in a mermaid pajamas with a blue and green tail swooshing behind her. The tail got caught in the door, yanking her to the floor with a thud. I covered my mouth so she couldn't hear me laugh. And before you say anything, laughing at little sisters doing silly things is totally not evil. It's not even mostly evil. It's just regular. As Pradeep's mom went over to help her, Frankie and I moved around to the cupboard where all the party stuff was kept. I crouched low behind the counter and put Frankie on the floor in his bag so I could open the cupboard and reach inside. "Samia, would you like to lick the chocolate bowl?" Pradeep's mom asked as she put Sammy back on her feet and turned to take the chocolate and marshmallow popcorn balls out into the living room. I heard the kitchen door shut behind her. Sammy toddled over to the counter that we were hiding behind. "Bowl," she announced in that really serious way tiny kids have of saying stuff. She stuck her hands into the bowl, smeared them around, and started to lick the chocolate. Then she squealed, "Fishy, fishy!" I peered around the corner to see Sammy jumping down on the spot and Frankie swishing his tails in circles and paddling his front fins at the same time to roll the bag toward her. How did he figure out how to do that? "Fishy, fishy!" Sammy shouted again. I jumped out from behind the corner. "Shh, Sammy!" Her bottom lip started shaking in that earthquake warning. This tantrum is going to be a 9 on the Richter scale kind of way. I scooped up Frankie off the floor in his bag and handed him to Sammy. She gripped the top with her chocolatey fingers. "Shh, quiet little fishy," I whispered. "Shh, little fishy," she giggled. She stared at Frankie in the bag. "Swishy little fishy," she said. I ran back to the cupboard and searched. Flour, sugar sprinkles, icing, tiny little icing polar bears. Ah, the food coloring. I grabbed the little green bottle and ran back to Sammy and Frankie. Sammy was still holding the bag, but she was much quieter now. She just whispered, "Swishy little fishy," over and over. Frankie stared at her with his big green bulging eyes, and she just stared ahead. What was with this goldfish? He could survive toxic grunge, jump out of windows, and now he could make the noisiest little kid on the planet go quiet. As I looked at Frankie, a little light bulb went on somewhere in the back of my head. Frankie's glowing green eyes, they looked like the undead gaze that the zombies in Mark's comics used to hypnotize people. And Sammy's stare. One of her eyes was looking at the wall, and the other one was looking up my left nostril at the same time. It was a goldfish stare. Maybe I hadn't saved Frankie's life at all when I shocked him with the battery. Maybe I brought him back from the dead, and now Frankie was a big, fat zombie goldfish, and somehow he had hypnotized my best friend's sister. Oh boy, boys and girls, that is the end of chapter 5, and what an exciting chapter that was. What do you think? Did the fish hypnotize his best friend's little sister? Leave me a comment on the bottom of my Google page and tell me what you think. Chapter 6 is called Dawn of the Zombie Toddler. Oh my goodness, you're going to have to check back in Monday to read chapter 6. Thank you. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you're enjoying my big fat zombie goldfish. Check back Monday. Don't forget to click the turned in button when you're done with this video. Have a safe and healthy weekend, everybody. I hope it's nice weather. If it is, get out there and enjoy it a little bit. But remember, stay 6 feet away from other people and wash your hands as much as you can. I will see you guys Monday for chapter 6. Bye.